begin with a quote. The woman whom we honor on this commencement day is esteemed not only by friends, faculty, staff, and administrators, but by all who have benefited from her presence, whether here at St. Mary's College or off campus. Special notice has been given to her tireless commitment to service. Indeed, service has become a synonym for who she is, end quote. So read the citation from this very podium 18 years ago when Therese Brochard received the Lumen Christi Award at her St. Mary's College commencement. It went on to recognize her establishment of local 12-step support groups, her contributions to campus ministry, her volunteer work, and her writing. Lots and lots of writing, especially for her friends, who often received a poem when they needed it. The citation concluded, energetic, generous, playful, intelligent, and committed to the service of others, she departs from St. Mary's College having left an enduring mark on its students and the whole collegiate community. We now welcome her back to campus to honor her for the many enduring remarks she has left on the world after her St. Mary's graduation. As an author of over 20 books, an award-winning blogger on BeliefNet.com, a columnist for the Catholic News Service, a sought-after speaker, and guest on national media outlets running the gamut from Fox and Friends to Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher. And as she did in her student days, she continues to reach out in her writing to those who need it, whether blogging on mental health issues or writing movingly, honestly, and with her humor, often directed back at herself about parenting, marriage, and her own struggles with debilitating depression and mental illness. One reviewer called her recent memoir, Beyond Blue, a testament to the wavering resilience of the human spirit. Another praised it for its raw, lyrical honesty. A third labeled it a masterpiece. She makes history today as the first recipient of the Lumen Christi Award to return to St. Mary's as a commencement speaker, shortly after she and Professor Ted Billy co-wrote the lyrics to the college's sesquicentennial song, Spirits Take Flight. Her own spirit took flight as she graduated from St. Mary's. We honor her for her witness to the power of faith, the deep resources of spirituality, and the enduring value of a St. Mary's education for making a difference in the world. President Mooney, I present to you Therese Brochard and ask that you, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of St. Mary's College, confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa.
Thank you, President Mooney, and thank you to all the professors and staff of St. Mary's, especially those who have changed my life. Joe Candela, Keith Egan, Nancy Mascott, and Phyllis Kaminsky. I am incredibly grateful to be here today. I grew up on this campus. I arrived in August of 1989, a very insecure teenager who had just quit drinking. Within the walls of the Counseling and Career Development Center, I began my path to healing and recovery. I was engaged to be married at the gazebo, which used to overlook the St. Joe River, which I promised to rebuild if I ever get rich. And my husband, Eric, and I were married at the Church of Our Lady of Loretto. This school is part of my soul because it was here that I found the courage to be myself and to believe in myself despite the rude commentary inside my head. My friends, professors, and counselors taught me how to focus on the rays of light in whatever darkness I encountered and to let that light guide me and inspire those around me. I'd like to share with you lyrics from the song Anthem by Leonard Cohen that remind me of what I learned at St. Mary's. Okay. Appropriate for you, St. Mary's bells. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. If you don't remember anything else I say today, remember that. Ring the cracked bells. Even when you're scared and unsure and convinced that nothing you say or do will ever be significant or meaningful. Be you even when being you feels uncomfortable. Risk rejection in order to share your gifts with the world. And always, always let the light in so that it might illuminate the darkness for others. 3 years ago, J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, urged the graduating seniors of Harvard University to embrace failure, to celebrate it even. Had I really succeeded at anything else, she told the class of 2008, I would have never found the determination to succeed in the one area I truly belonged. She was referring to the state of poverty she endured 7 years out of school, with a child to raise nonetheless. Ironic, really, that crashing head-on into her biggest fear ultimately freed her to use her gifts in a way that amassed her great wealth and enabled her to touch the lives of millions around the world. Growing up, I was not afraid of economic turmoil. I had read way too many saints' books to think that poverty was a bad thing. My greatest fear was that I would go crazy, batty. Not so. My aunt and godmother had spent most of her adult life hospitalized, and to this day I can still picture her blank stare and those of the listless patients in her psych unit. When I was 16 years old, my Aunt Mary Lou took her own life. So you can imagine the panic I felt as a young girl when I began to count the cracks in the sidewalk and felt compelled to skip over them, when I couldn't make the ugly and scary thoughts go away. I pictured my Aunt Mary Lou and the blank stares, and I begged God to deliver me from Looneyville. But he didn't. After giving birth to 2 beautiful miracles, which rearranged most of the biological systems in my body, there I was in a psych ward, next to a guy pounding his head against the wall while screaming profanities. I had officially gone crazy. I knew that the afternoon I painted a birdhouse in occupational therapy, or recess as we like to call it in the psych ward. Just like J.K. Rowling, I had no choice but to walk through my greatest fear and to pick up the pieces, to face the world as I am, cracked, fragile, wacky. And yet in that moment, I was free to ring my damaged but precious bell, and free to let the light in and out, just as I was taught at St. Mary's. I know many of you have already experienced times of hopelessness and dejection, either after an academic setback or a personal blow. But here you are on this somewhat beautiful day, with the bright future ahead. You persevered with the help of others and with the grace of God. And you will do so in the future if you concentrate on the stream of light filtering through the cracks of life and be guided by that light.